A lot of us place a high emphasis on our degrees. You know, as a person with their bachelor's in business, I've realized that it really doesn't matter, especially in this modern era of society where everything's on the internet. I had one of my professors in university. He sat down and asked the class, "Why are you guys here? Why are you here? There's Harvard classes online for free. It's way cheaper than being in here, and you could do it in the comfort of your own home." This was probably like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, something like that. And he said this at that time. That made me realize, like, damn, why am I here? Nobody in the class responded. Some people said, "Oh, I'm here because of my parents." Well, I'm here because of, to get a better job, XYZ. They gave some weak reasons, but a lot of the stuff we do in society is because society places that pressure upon us. This is not to knock education, but education doesn't really educate you. It educates you on the most banal, most unimportant subjects. Yeah, there's some important classes here and there. But when I went to business school, I'm not saying I regretted business school, but it was pretty expensive. And a lot of the stuff I could have found out on my own just by starting a business. See, in certain aspects, going to school is almost like procrastinating. People think like watching a YouTube video, reading books is all taking action, but this is all procrastination. We're all like studying information and never starting, never doing anything. This is what I realized with education. You could go so far up, master's, PhD, associate, whatever you want to get. That doesn't automatically get you a job. And just because you graduated doesn't mean you're smart. See, the smart person takes that education and applies it to his family and his community. But if you're doing it, going outside the community, going to move outside of another community, then how educated are you? Education, educare, means to bring out the light. And in this modern, not even modern, ever since the school system started, the school to prison pipeline, this has been to indoctrinate you, to act a certain way, especially men. Makes you want to act like a little girl, quiet, sit still. And you wonder why the men go wild and out in physical education, because we're meant to be out. We weren't meant to sit still behind a desk for 8 hours. This doesn't bring out any talent. They try to put ideals, false history, meaningless classes upon you. And then when you get to the real world, you're lost. You're like a deer in headlights. Like, whoa, I'm not using the Pythagorean theorem in school. I'm not using this anymore. Damn, I don't know how to file my own taxes. No one taught me about credit card interest and cashback. No one taught me how to acquire land. No one taught me that all diseases are almost curable. I didn't learn this in school because there's a pipeline. Who wrote the curriculums? And most people who are educated don't understand that, because they spent so much time being indoctrinated that they don't see the real world for what it really is. The real world is not teaching you X, Y, Z minus B squared plus B the third equals question mark. Education, we have to redefine what education really is. And those of you who went to school for some time, they usually been in school for like 10 years and they stop reading, they stop educating themselves after graduation. That's not real education. Education is lifelong. So we have to choose subjects that actually solves problems. Poverty, hunger, homeless people, all of this, we're not taught to actually solve problems. We're taught to be employees at corporations to keep capitalism going. Think about that. Education. We're not taught how to build our own, businesses, communities, XYZ. We're taught how to be good employees, what job to get, how to do it for this many times in order to get to this level, to get to senior level and move on up. Blase, blase, blase. That's the old paradigm. We're off that. We're into like ownership, building our own. This is my prediction, right? Over the next, especially the last 3 years, how like the whole world shut down. I'll say within the next like 30, 35 years, there will be less schools, less kids going to school, just because they see how 19-year-olds are making more money than the principals and stuff like that. Nobody's gonna want to go to school. That's even happening now. It may not even take 30 years, but AI, artificial intelligence, is slowly creeping in, and a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs. Not much people have the skill set to keep going without a system. So they're gonna have a dead-end job where they don't like working for the employer, and thus they have nowhere to go. That degree will be worthless. That degree will be worthless in some time. So education is not enough. You have to apply yourself and acquire skills to really feel a fruitful life, to really have security. The real security lies in your skill set, not what the job is offering you. The real security lies in your skill set, not what the job is offering you. What the job is offering you, they could take that off the table at any second. So be mindful of when you hear benefits, security, because it's all dependent upon them. Anything you depend on outside of yourself is not real security, because boom, just like that, it will be gone. So have this realization that you need to acquire skills in order to live a fruitful, secure life. So if you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, you be well.